Just yeah, so to your left. Look at Kakera. She's not even breathing.
My name is Kirsten Brown. This is my fitness journey, Zambia Kuchalo. Studio 4. Okay, so my name's Kirsten Brown. I'm 32 years old. I am actually Irish by my nationality. I'm from Ireland. I've been in Zambia now for 9 years. I have 3 boys. I'm a boy mom. I'm married. I'm currently working. I'm a very passionate person. One of my passions is singing. I love to sing. I have a lot of opinions. I enjoy to express my opinions. I think that's more or less it. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, yes, unless there's anything specific you would like to know. And I don't know if it was nerves, I don't know what it was, but it just sounds funny. Opinions I enjoy to express. At the minute, it touches on psychology. I'm a psychologist by my education. So I'm doing some work with a pharmaceutical company that has links with psychology, yes. It's quite flexible. Most of the time I work in the field, so I'm not office-based. So when I started this journey, I honestly didn't realize how much I would be uncovering. Not just about my fitness, my health, but also about my own resilience. I came into this as a third-time mom, but having recently had a baby, carrying postpartum weight. And to top it all off, in the middle of the experience, I was actually diagnosed with PCOS, with insulin resistance, which was a big shock, but also made a lot of sense to me. It explained a lot of things. So it has not been easy, but honestly, every single challenge has made me stronger. So I had just had a baby, and honestly, I won't lie, I was a bit overwhelmed, and I kept thinking, is this something that I can really do? But I knew that also that for my kids, my husband, it's something that I had to at least try. I can't think about doing it and just not do it. I have to give it a go. I have to try. So walking into that room was the first step in proving to myself that the change is very possible. The day that we went to visit our gyms, I think Retro was the second or third last gym that we visited. So I think we visited 2 or 3 before that. And I feel like going to a gym can honestly be very intimidating, especially when you're not used to that environment. And you know, when you enter gyms and there's like all these big guys and girls who look like they've been going to the gym for years and all this equipment, you have no idea what to do. So when you walk in, when I walked in with the guys, I was just thinking to myself, like, what the hell? Like, I don't know, how am I going to use these machines? I need to find a trainer. Like, what am I going to do? But at the same time, it's exciting because it's a new experience and it's something you have to give a try at least once. So it was intimidating, I won't lie, but it was exciting at the same time. actually it was actually helpful knowing that I'm going to have other guys from our program there, because they're going through the same thing that I'm going through. So I'm sure if I'm feeling some type of way, especially those of us who maybe were not so frequent with the gym or have been there before, it's good to know that, like, I'll give Margaret as a perfect example. I would see Margaret in the gym all the time. And every time I seen her, I would just be like, oh, how's it going? And what were you doing today? And what are you doing tomorrow? So it was always nice to have that like little back and forth. And you know that we're in the same journey. We're doing this together. So it was actually a really good thing, in my opinion. Honestly, it pushed me in ways I wasn't expecting. It wasn't even just that it was physical, which is, before going, all I thought it was going to be. It was actually mental as well. And there were times I kept thinking to myself, like, I'm tired. What time are we finishing? Like that, you just get into that mindset of like, I just want to stop. I want to give up. But I didn't want to let myself, and also my team were there supporting me. And I know my team wouldn't let me either. They believed me. They believed in me, even when I think I got to the point where I didn't, because there was we were doing one of the challenges, carrying weights, and I remember I picked up the weights and they were so heavy. I wasn't expecting them to be that heavy, and I tried to run so fast with them, but they were so heavy. I just fell down, and I was like, oh my gosh. I'm the first one that has fallen. No one else has fallen. I feel so embarrassed. But my team were like, just get up, just go, just do it. And then within like a couple of seconds, you just forget about it. And it's a thing of the past. So having my team there really helped me not give up and push me to believe in myself. My mouth is like...
Come on, Kirsten. You're good.
mountain hike. The mountain hike, I think, was my breaking point. I struggled so much, especially in the going up. I felt weak, I felt frustrated. At times I was thinking to myself, like, I can't do this, and I felt so embarrassed. But I kept telling myself, just take one step. You take one step, you're one step further to getting to the top, one step closer to getting to the top. And on the way up, I think it was probably 3/4 of the way up, there was just this huge rock, and there was no way around it, no way. It was just to go up over it. I kept telling myself, I'm too tired, my legs are too short, it can't reach to pull myself up. I was tired. And my team were there to help me, honestly, every step of the way. We were pushing each other, literally pushing each other to get over things, around things. And I remember when we got to the top, everyone was so tired. But there was just this sense of, we've done it. Like, so when we finally reached the top, it hit me that my struggles don't define me at all. We're all going to face struggles at some point, but you just have to get through them, find a way to go over them, around them, whatever it is. So they do not define me, my perseverance does. Finding out I had PCOS in the middle of the journey, it was a shock. It explains so much. The weight gain, the exhaustion, the struggles I had faced for years. It was a shock, but at the same time, it was like a light bulb moment, because I didn't feel like I was just not doing something, or I wasn't doing things as good as anybody else, but there was an actual health reason behind why it's extra hard for me than it is for someone else. But instead of letting it defeat me, I've used it as motivation. And I've realized the journey is not just about fitness, but it's also about taking control of my health. PCOS is something that affects a lot of women. And for me, finding out that I have it now means I can do something about it. And being in the program helped me figure this out. And it made me realize that, like I've mentioned previously, it's another hurdle, it's a struggle, but you have to find your way around it. What can I do? Now I know that I have it, what do I do to move forward? Because now I know I'm not just going to be stuck in the same place. I know what I can do now, and now I know what I have to do about it. So now it's about acting on it. And like I mentioned, it's about taking control of my health, which is what I'm doing right now. PCOS itself actually stands for Polycystic Ovary Syndrome. The name is actually very misleading, because what I even understood before I had it was that you had to have some type of ovarian cyst and you have PCOS. Well, it's not. PCOS is so hard to diagnose because there are so many variations of it. It's different from woman to woman. For one woman, it could be infertility struggles. Another woman, it could be issues with weight gain. Another woman, it could be issues with menstruation. There are so many different things that affect so many different women. But for me personally, I have it with insulin resistance. So PCOS is a very wide-ranging condition that, like I mentioned, affects a lot of women, sorry. So for myself, unlike some of my friends here within our group, I have not lost what I think, looking back a couple of months ago, I'm not where I thought I would have been. But with discovering with the PCOS and everything in between, I mentioned that not all victories are with numbers on the scale. You can have victories of putting on a t-shirt, putting on a trouser that was not fitting you. You can have a victory of being able to walk a kilometer and not feel like you're about to pass out because you can't breathe. All of those are victories. So for me, myself, the journey that I'm now on, which is still my own fitness journey, my own health journey, especially, I am looking out more so for those because I know that I have so much more of an uphill battle than maybe someone else. So I'm always looking out for, hey, wait, this is fitting a bit better, or my skin is looking so much clearer, or I'm having such a good night's sleep, or my fitness is better, I can walk further. And those for me are what I'm putting against the scale. I'm throwing the scale out. It's got nothing to do with me right now, and I'm focusing on those, and those for me are what I'm choosing as these are my victories. Because I've never done anything as big as this, like as long as this, working on endurance, working on strength, and also just your mind. Because if your mind is not in it, you will not finish it. It was tough, it was hard, I can't even lie, but we did it, and I'm so proud that we did it, and we did it in good spirits, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah. For me, in regards to the marathon for me, I think the first couple of weeks, the mountain hike for me was the thing where I was like, this is going to be so hard and what. Then when I found out we were going to do the marathon, and we were thinking, is it going to be a 5K? Is it going to be a whole marathon? What is it going to be? Then we found out, okay, it's 10 kilometers. We're doing 10 kilometers. This ABSAB marathon lived rent-free in my head every single minute of every day until the day we actually did it, because I kept thinking to myself, 10 kilometers is far. When you're not used to walking 10 kilometers, it's far. For some people, they can run 10 kilometers and it's nothing. But for those of us, and I think there were a few others in our group as well, who were in the same boat as me, like really, I was worried. I was really worried about it. And I had a little group that, there was a little group of us, I think, who we walked with each other and ran with each other. And it was Theo and Margaret and Grace. I think it was just the four of us. And I think walking with those guys also really helped. And the first, I would say 4, 5, 6 kilometers, it was like, oh, we've got this, we're doing so good. But those last couple of kilometers were so hard. Especially, I think that last, maybe it was the last kilometer, it was the hardest of them all. Your feet are hurting, your legs are hurting, you're tired, it's getting hot. But then the closer you get to getting to the finish line, again, you have that last little sense of, okay, let's just go, we do it. And we saw the finish line and we're like, no, we can't walk across the finish line, we have to run. So we were all motivating each other to run across it. And just to get the medal, and to then afterwards, be taking pictures as a group, there was this sense of, I just feel so accomplished to do something I never in a million years would have thought I would have done. Because if it was up to me, just in my everyday life, I'm not signing up for a marathon. I'll go to the gym, I'll work out with friends, but a marathon, it's not something I would have done in my own personal life. So it was a big push. And looking back, I'm so proud of myself for doing it, and I'm so glad that we did it. when it came to the sand games were different for me because we were playing games that I'm not used to. I think most of the people in the group had grown up, or I'm sure when they were kids had played these games at some point. Whereas for me, I was learning about them for the first time, playing them for the first time. So the one actually that I really enjoyed, I thought it was fun. I thought it was so funny. Was the one of having two people at each end with the ball. Then you have the bottle in the middle and you're trying to put the sand in the bottle while the other opposing team are trying to hit you. I thought that one was really fun. I'd never heard of it before. The guys were trying to explain it to me at the start. But I think I picked it up just fine, but it was really, really fun. And then we had the one which is more or less just like skipping, like jumping rope. And one thing I will add is I feel like there are some members of the red team that are a bit sneaky, who, when you're trying to jump, there's no, constant speed. They want to get faster just to get you out. But nonetheless, we won anyway, so it didn't matter in the end. But the sand games were really fun. It was something really different again, and I had a really enjoyable time on that episode. So when I'm talking about some certain members of the red team who, for example, when we were trying to skip with the rope, try to make it go a little bit faster, so that they catch you on your feet. Suspect number one is Grace. So immediately you're into the rhythm, you're doing it. Next thing you know, it's getting faster. But her teammate is there on the other side, going at a nice pace. But she's on this side, it's going like 100 miles an hour. So for her, that's what I felt. So yeah. Whenever we did the cooking competition, I actually didn't know what to expect at the start of it. And we were told we were going to be cooking traditional meals. And I think when people see me, I think when they see anyone who's foreign, you probably think like, oh, does she know how to cook these things? Does she even know what this is? Does she know what that is? But I've been actually here for quite a long time. My family is Zambian, my husband is Zambian, so it's not something I cannot know anything about. So I actually really, really enjoyed the cooking competition. I think that the meals we cooked were great. Our team won, which I was very excited about because I think we did the best. And yeah, I think the cooking competition overall was a really different experience. I think it was different from some of the other challenges that we've done, which were more physical. I think this being more nutritional, having someone there who was an actual nutritionist, having someone there who is like an actual chef, it added like different elements to it. And then just the actual competition. Usually we're used to having competition with each other physically, but this was competition of a different nature. So it added like a little bit of something extra, which was really exciting and it was really nice as well.